All right, so Mankz and Fahad, you guys have added 25k monthly recurring revenue in the school games, and you guys are behind the scenes. So this is like a first for us to talk to the operators behind the content machine that is Eddie Abbew. So talk to us a little bit how you guys got in touch with Eddie and how you guys have scaled up his operations.
So how it was one of our friends actually was just scrolling through TikTok and then saw Eddie. And this was back when he only had how many followers?
60k on TikTok.
60k on TikTok.
Bearing in mind, like he started November 2022 on TikTok. So that's when he started. And then when was it?
It was December. So literally a couple weeks in, maybe 4 or 5 weeks later, he tells us to reach out to him. So I sent him a voice note telling him about how he can monetize his audience, the opportunity there is. Could we set up a meeting? And his office is like an hour and a half away. So he was like, yeah, come down. And I knew because he's an older guy, he's not really going to want to do a Zoom call. So yeah, I could come down to your office and stuff. We drove down there an hour and a half. We sat there and we made the deal. From then on, straight away, we started working from January 2023. So it's been a little over a year now.
So you guys took the risk. You made the drive down. You're like, this is a great opportunity. What did you see in Eddie that you were like, this is like getting in on something super early and we want to be a part of it?
One thing was his actual message, which is about obviously eating real food, and the advice he was like giving, it was all about real food. And he had, so he's competed in Mr. Olympia alongside Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman. So he has the expertise. He's a former psychiatric nurse. But also he was marketable. We could see that he's not just any PT. He's actually a 60-year-old guy. He's like obviously older than the average PT you'd see on social media. And plus it was the way he was speaking as well. He's like really raw and he's really polarizing, and the language he uses as well.
Yeah, the language is hilarious. My wife and I, like a few days ago, we were like scrolling through some of his stuff and we were just in wrinkles laughing. It was so funny.
Every day I get messages from like family and friends sending me Eddie on other people's pages. So it's not even his own content. He's gone so viral. Like he's everywhere on other meme pages, on Twitter. He doesn't even have a Twitter like that. It's just like everyone just sending me Eddie right now, because over the course of a year, we've got how many followers now?
So we started with 8k followers because he wasn't posting on Insta. He had a bit of a following because of Mr. Olympia and stuff, who was the previous bodybuilder. So basically a whole 12 months later, he hit 1 million followers. So from 8k to 1 million. But now we're in February 2023. So literally less than 2 months, he's on 2 million. So he's gained
2.1 now.
Yeah, 2.1. So he's gained a whole 1.1 in just under 2 months on Instagram itself.
That's crazy. I think like a lot of guys outside of the business and outside of your industry, you know, if you're general public, you're on the tube and you're scrolling through TikTok, whatever, you're like, oh, this guy's got 1 million followers. He must be a millionaire. But like people don't realize it's like most people have a big following. They haven't found a way to monetize it. So how have you guys worked with Eddie to help realize some of that potential?
That's where we saw him have all that credibility and expertise and the type of content he was posting. He was giving valuable content that people can actually use rather than like a viral workout or just sitting on the camera. He was giving actionable advice and guidance on how to achieve a certain goal. So we thought, okay, cool. He must be able to monetize using selling education, selling info. So that's where we start working right away, starting developing, let's say, a fat loss guide or a muscle building guide, something that he has expertise in and something that a lot of people, obviously, is one of their main pain points. So that's an ebook. We've also got an email newsletter that we've been building. So everyone who buys the ebook, they get added to the newsletter. Naturally, they can also join for free. We built an email list of over 50,000 people now. And then we've got the school community for more, recurring revenue. But we do also offer more services. For example, there's weekly Q&A Zoom calls. There's the video courses. There's cooking videos, meal plan templates, group support, all of that kind of stuff. We even tried out a bit of high ticket coaching one-to-one, but he didn't really enjoy that. He likes to speak to one-to-many rather than just one-to-one. He wants to impact many lives rather than only a handful.
Sure. So how did you guys come across Skool and why did you think it was a good fit?
To be honest, I just heard about it like before everyone else started jumping onto it. I think I saw it in a TikTok once because I was looking for a community platform where we can host different things, for example, Zoom calls and the group support and downloadable resources in the same place. So I heard of Kajab, also known of Discord, but it seemed like Skool seemed to be the most simple and like easy user-friendly platform.
Because like we were thinking of a paid Discord, for example, but his audience is like, I'd say over 25, you could say. And a lot of them are older. And I feel like Skool is perfect because it's really basic in terms of like, it's really easy to use and it's really clear, concise. And it's basically like, you could compare it to like a Facebook. So
Yeah.
it's really nice.
People are more familiar with the group aspect is more similar to Facebook groups rather than Discord.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like, if we talk ops for a while, like, we've got lots of great questions from the community in here. And one of them is, what is your, or how are just the two of you guys managing the whole operation? Like, what are you guys deploying and what methods to make that possible?
Cool. So firstly, we need to say that Eddie's a content machine. Like this guy pumps out. There's days where on a good day, he'll pump out 10 videos a day on every single platform. So that's 10 on Instagram Reels, 10 on YouTube, Shorts, 10 on TikTok, 10 on Facebook Reels. So that's on a good day, 40 videos are going out. And some of them are a mixture of us going down to Eddie and we will edit and record for him. And then some are a mixture of him literally getting the video, getting his phone out and post himself.
So part of the reason why we've had the success we had is mapping every single step of the funnel and optimizing every single stage. So the content, we want to have good video ideas, create a brand, be polarizing, have a ton of volume. That's one thing. Then we need a lead magnet, something that we can collect their email. So we have, let's say, the low ticket ebooks. That's one part. Obviously, many people afford. Then we have an email newsletter where we nurture them with a welcome series, with weekly newsletters, call to actions, and obviously value in the email. We've also got long form content on YouTube. We've got over 50,000 subscribers now. I've only had that for a couple months. And then we have the mid ticket, or still low ticket, but it's a recurring monthly membership, which is the school. And then I guess high ticket is on the table, but he doesn't really enjoy doing one-to-one. So we'll see how that goes for now.
It's cool. Lauren Messina, shout out to Lauren. She asks, do you guys have any plan to grow your team or do you want to keep it small? And if so, why?
Not really, to be honest, because what we have right now is all we need, to be honest. We have an assistant who helps manages all the DMs and stuff and the content ideas. We have us who work on the funnel and the content as well. Depending on what we need, we don't really need much more for the people that we have. We have, like, let's say 4 or 5 people in the team. So that's all we need.
It's cool. What's been the best improvement you've made to your funnel, say, in the last 2 months?
I'd say the chatbot.
Yeah. So we've got a chatbot in his Instagram DMs because he gets a bunch of DMs every single day on TikTok. But on Instagram, we're able to put in like a mini chat, which will obviously take them to the ebooks and the school community and then therefore collect their emails. And then we've also got converting emails where we put them through a sequence. So a quasi periodic sequence where they'll get value emails, and then a call to action to perhaps the community or the. So it's literally like a bunch of things. I don't think we can pinpoint on one specific thing because he's got really valuable converting content on the front end. Then the back end is converting emails. And then he's got long form YouTube if they want to get more trust. And then another big thing is the testimonials. Firstly, is that his advice is his free advice is really changing lives out there. So because of that, they're obviously getting a lot of results and value, but also from the school community, from the ebooks, he's getting a bunch of testimonials. If you look on his Instagram, you'll see the highlights.
And one thing that helps us a ton is the fact that majority of the testimonials that he does get, he puts on his Instagram story. So if you're following him constantly, you're getting bombarded by success after success. So there's no reason why you wouldn't invest in some of his info products.
Yeah, and I love how you guys have gone for the low ticket approach because it makes it so much more accessible. And you guys have a broad enough niche where, like, I mean, how big could this community alone get? Like the limit on this thing is like massive.
Oh, that's the thing. So the next steps for us, we looking at ads. So it's in the last 2 months that you asked, we launched some ads, and because of his audience, we're able to market towards like highly potentially what's it called converting audiences. For example, his Instagram following, there's 2 million people. On Facebook, there's a couple 100,000. On TikTok, all of these are custom audiences that we can retarget. So followers or post engagers, we can create very targeted lookalike audiences because it's got a strong email list and the community members. That way we can have a low cost per click. And it's been working so far because we've launched it for the past, I think, 5 days. And we have seen a lot more school signups from that.
Very cool. Kenneth Smith, another guy in the top 10 of the school games, he asks, like, what follow-up systems do you guys have in place if a client is interested but they don't sign up right away? You know, how I guess that's maybe on the nurturing side.
The nurturing side, if they've seen Eddie, they must be following him. Or in the emails, just send more emails, post more content. Over time, as you may know, in the marketing world, you need 7 touch points to convert a customer. But if Eddie's posted 7 videos in one day, the likelihood of them seeing him again and again across different platforms, we've got the highest chance of converting.
And then we will just, even with the email list, so we will segment to those who haven't joined yet. We will send them maybe a different type of email until they've joined, like a few more.
There's a great guy in the UK, Daniel Priestley. I can't remember the name of his book, but he's got this thing called the 7-11-4 formula. You ever heard about this?
No. But I know who Daniel Priestley is.
Yeah. So hang on, let me just pull it up. Okay, yeah. So it's like based on some research that they were studying, like the ultimate way, how we as humans build bonds. And so the research basically showed that, like, if you have 7 hours with somebody, 11 different interactions in 4 different places, then you feel extremely, extremely connected to somebody. And I love how, as you guys just laid it out, it's like there's multiple touch points, multiple different places, different platforms, different mediums. And so very quickly, people are going to feel like they know Eddie, and that's going to convert really well.
Okay. And that's where I have one feedback for school. So you see how you asked about follow-ups?
Yeah. How
do I put a pixel on school?
Yeah, dude, this is big. A lot of people are asking about this, and the timeline's always mysterious, but you're not alone in asking for that feature. So why is that feature so important to you, and like what could you do with it if it was implemented?
That's where for the Facebook ads,
right,
when we do direct traffic towards it, at least we can see how many people are viewing content, and then to abandon cart, you can say we can retarget them with different messaging. Depending on what stage of sophistication.
One question I did have for you guys is, how are you thinking about retention? So, with low ticket, it's easy to come in and then it might be perceived as easy to jump out again. So how are you guys planning on beyond February, whenever you win the school games and go to meet Hermosi and all that sort of stuff? Like, what's March and onwards going to look like for you in terms of, because retention is growth, as they say, isn't it?
Yeah, so a big part of Eddie's messaging is the food, right? And his daughter is also providing cooking videos in the school community, if we're talking specifically. So now we're going to be, obviously, we introduce weekly or a few cooking videos every week. And obviously, you can never really run out of food ideas. So that's one way. And another way is that people, weight loss and fat loss isn't just one, like overnight, right? It's going to take a while. So even if someone does stay for 3 months, that's in our eyes enough for us, because at the end of the day, we don't want them to keep paying. We want them to reach a specific goal, learn the lifestyle change, and then out of the school community. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about banking off that, like the revenue forever. It's about getting them to a specific goal and then teaching them how to make this lifestyle change, and then it's fine. So one way is that he does weekly Zoom calls, so they can talk to Eddie on a weekly basis until they reach their goal. And that will obviously take a few months, is another way.
Yes. I think naturally, because of the nature of the niche, which is fat loss or muscle building, is a journey. He does emphasize, generally he does emphasize that it takes 4 to 12 weeks to get fat adapted. So it's not because I want to retain them, so I'm going to tell them. No, naturally, you do need to get fat adapted over the course of 4 to 12 weeks, and you need that support. So one thing is accountability. You leave the group, you lose that accountability. Number 2 is obviously it takes 4 to 12 weeks to get fat adapted. Number 3 is the live Zoom calls. You can't get access to them if you're not in the community. It's live. And he can specifically one-to-one answer questions. Another one is, like he said, the week cooking videos. So we release them every week. And obviously, if you're not in the course, in the community, you're not going to get them. Exclusive guest interviews. Obviously, since it has blown up so much, there are a lot of other doctors and influential people who want to collaborate with him. If we have exclusive guest interviews that you only get within inside the community, like once a month, we have Ken Berry or Dr. Ekberg or all these Anthony Chaffee, all these other influential doctors in, that's another reason to stay in the community to hear these other interviews and stuff.
And also we're thinking of introducing things like competitions and giveaways and stuff as well.
And also there's video courses. So we've got the muscle building videos and fat loss videos. Obviously you can't consume them overnight unless you really wanted to. Naturally, people take time with this stuff. So they will stay for 2-3 months. And as Mankz said, we don't want to retain them forever. It's not like these other corporations that want to keep you just sick a little bit so they can keep like a PT train. Their goal isn't to keep retain you forever. It doesn't make sense. Their goal is to teach you how to achieve a goal and just use that knowledge for the rest of your life. But the way this works is that because we're able to teach them exactly how to live a lifestyle and then see the success and leave, the word of mouth goes crazy.
Right.
Because now they've achieved their goal, they're gonna become preachers for this lifestyle and tell everyone join this community, and we can go from there.
So good. I mean, you guys are obviously like pro at what you do. You're very hungry. You're very ambitious. How do you learn all this stuff? Like, you've got the Hormozy book in the background. Like you guys are schooled
Well, you can
up.
see that.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of them. Just over time, we've been in entrepreneurship for a couple of years, the online space, understood funnels, literally Hormozy, any other of these groups like Typers and whatnot, just through experience, to be honest, and breaking down every step of the business and understanding where can we optimize and where are the potential pitfalls and how to solve it.
Yeah. How have you guys personally changed as a result of this kind of whirlwind journey you've been on? Because it sounds pretty mad, and it's about to get crazier whenever you guys go to Vegas here.
Yeah, we do hope to come to Vegas. And in terms of working with Eddie specifically, firstly, I'd say I've really seen results in terms of my health. He's really helped. Secondly, yeah,
It's just been a good experience.
Eddie's really fun, by the way. He literally is basically what he is like on social media. Really fun guy, really down to earth, really humble. And he's genuinely out there to actually help people. And that's what I feel like works, because if you're actually there to help people, the money will come, the money will follow.
So final question then. Anne from School Community, she asks, what are your top 3 advice for school newbies, people just starting off on school?
Make an irresistible offer. Give them so much value, there's no reason why they shouldn't. As Hormozy says all the time, make an offer that they feel so stupid saying. It provides so much value. We've answered. One of the best ways to make an offer is to list out all the potential problems that your client or customer that they will face while trying to achieve this goal, and come up with a solution or a resource for every step of these problems, and offer that in the community, and offer a fair enough price where they're getting 10 times the value for the price that they pay, because your word of mouth will be crazy, and a lot of people who join, they will see the results. Then again, the word of mouth.
Another thing is that people are taking a different approach to the school community, whereas they will close it off and then open it back up again. Or for us specifically, what has worked is, you can say the rule of 100, which is literally posting a lot of content, basically volume. So posting a lot of content, sending out the emails, story posts, links to the story posts, just volume everywhere. That's also worked for us.
And as many testimonials as you can. But testimonials and reviews are the most persuasive pieces of marketing ever. So if you have them, share them. Get get as many interviews, messages, or posts, whatever, as get pictures, transformations, share them with permission, of course.
Absolutely. Well, I think your guys' story, like specifically Fahad and Mankz, like it's inspiring. It shows like there's so many opportunities in the school games and beyond to like partner up with content machines and incredible influencers like Eddie. You don't have to be the person that's making content all the time yourself. One more, okay? Like, what do you want to ask Hormozy whenever you see him, or like, what do you want to get out of that experience?
What's next? How should we take this to the next level?
I'd love to have dessert with him because he never skips.
An ice cream sundae with Hormozy sounds good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, really, really practically, there's one more question here that I saw. Like, what do you guys use for your landing pages? Like, just technical stuff like that?
Landing pages, we did use ClickFunnels, but now we just use Skool. So it just reduces the drop-offs because a lot of our audience isn't cold. They're warm or / hot audiences. So we just use Skool.
And we
So you
made
just
sure
send
that
them
on the
direct
school
from-
homepage, yeah, so on the school homepage, we make sure that it's quite optimized.
So we've got the VSL. So we scripted convert VSL with all what's included in the community, some testimonials as much as we can.
And then written as well in the list.
Right, so you just send everything direct to Skool About page, the landing page?
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys,
Because
thanks for
the
your time.
content itself is quite converting enough, so they're already
Yeah.
warm enough. So once all they got to do is just join.
They're looking to take action.
Yeah.
And you don't want to stop them. You don't want to get in their way. That's how you guys are killing it on the School Games leaderboard. Guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.